Hello everyone, my name is Kimberly and today I'm going to be talking about the difference you can make by using reusable straws over plastic ones. I know this seems very minimal, but think of the larger picture, which is saving our planet and our sea life. Now before you guys brush me off, and trust me, I understand the convenience of plastic straws and plastic bags, but I was a huge coffee drinker. I stopped by Starbucks very frequently, if not daily, and I realized how many straws I was going through. One straw a day, 365 a year, and now times that by California's population of 39 million people. All of those plastic straws are being dumped into landfills and the ocean. Plastic straws alone take over 20 years to decompose, and that's if they are biodegradable, which most actually aren't. And they cannot be broken down naturally by bacteria and other decomposers. They simply break into even smaller particles, releasing chemicals in the soil, the air, and the water. They are harmful to animals, plants, people, and the environment. In this presentation, I'm going to let you guys know where all of this plastic is ending up and how it will affect each and every single one of us sooner or later. But I will end it on the bright side by persuading you all to switch over to the green side. I'll provide many options, one that will work for every single one of us so we could all ditch harmful plastic. The United States generates more plastic waste than any other country in the world, producing 42 million metric tons, or 286 pounds per person. And this was in 2016 alone. The research also found that the U.S. is the third largest contributor of plastic pollution in the coastal environments. To make matters worse, less than 10% of American plastic waste is recycled, and the U.S. has a long history of shipping its recyclable plastics overseas to China and other developing nations that lack the infrastructure to manage it, and then basically makes them deal with our problem. We all are impacted by this huge issue. Plastic ends up in the ocean and the sea life ends up eating it. And who eats sea life? Us. Scientists have found microplastics in 114 marine species, and around one-third of these end up on our plates. We consume plastic via packaging, BPA is present, and many other plastic outbreaks that come in direct contact with our food. That is metabolized in our liver to form bisphenol A, and this remains in our body through our urine. It doesn't end there, though. When plastic is dumped in landfills, it interacts with water and forms hazardous chemicals. Burning plastic in the open air leads to environmental pollution due to the release of poisonous chemicals. The polluted air, which is inhaled by humans and animals, affects their health and causes respiratory issues. It also costs millions of dollars each year to clean affected areas after exposure, not to mention the loss of the life to plants, animals, and to people. Plastic is everywhere, even on those items you may not expect it. Milk cartons are lined with plastic, water bottles are handed out everywhere, and some products may even contain tiny plastic beads. Every time one of these items get thrown away or washed down a sink, the toxic pollutants have more of a chance to enter the environment and do harm. Since it is affordable and durable material, it is utilized in every possible way, from packaging materials to plastic bottles to containers to straws to carry-out bags. The disposal of plastic is often mismanaged and these end up in landfills. This may sound a bit confusing, but because plastic is meant to last, it's nearly impossible to break down. Burning plastic is incredibly toxic and to lead to harmful atmospheric conditions and deadly illnesses. Therefore, if it's in the landfill, it just continues releasing toxics into that area. I know this is a lot to take in, but trust me, there's several things we can do to play our part in becoming eco-friendlier. So here are some solutions that I've thought of for us. We could shop more friendly. We could get rid of plastic bottles. We could recycle. We could avoid disposable plastics, inform others, or get active and involved ourselves. So we can try and select items that come in non-plastic, recycled, and recyclable packaging to do our best to handle items that can't be reused properly. Check everything before you do put in the trash, as more and more items are able to be recycled these days. Bring our own reusable bags to the store, reusable silverware, carry your travel coffee mug, and reusable drinking bottles and straws, and make a habit out of it. One way that really helps us is to speak out, speak to lawmakers, and get involved with the government on any level that you can. You'll see how many special interest groups have made it out to be so that we are dependent on plastic without needing to be. Encourage the development of items and propose alternatives when you can. So you can make a lot of difference by making green choices at home, and you must move away from the throwaway culture. Choose products with less plastic packaging, avoid cosmetics and personal hygiene products that have microbeads in them. Those are those little dots in our toothpaste and facial scrubs because they're actually made of microplastic. And avoid clothes that have synthetic microfibers. When these items are washed, they often release microfibers into the water, finally making their ways into the ocean and then ingested by fish and other marine creatures. So I've let you guys know where all this plastic is ending up and how it will affect each and every one of us sooner or later. A lot sooner, actually, if we continue down the path that we are right now. But I've also provided many options and solutions, one that will work for every single one of us, so nobody should have an excuse. Because since 1950, 8.3 billion tons of plastic has been produced, and only 9% of that plastic has been recycled. 12% of that has been burned, and the remaining 79% has ended up in the landfills or oceans. Up to 12.7 million tons of plastic enters the ocean every year. The equivalent of a truckload of plastic enters the ocean every minute. Now that you know this information, are you going to contribute to the problem, or do your small part in saving our planet? It's your choice.